We are live from the Edge Ice Arena for Game 2 of the AHAI Elite 8, presented by the SHL Network on YouTube Live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into this second of two broadcasts here tonight in this quarterfinal round of the boys' Red Varsity State Tournament. This matchup features the number 14-seeded New Trier White Trevians out of the IHSHL North Central Division, taking on the number 5-seeded St. Viator Lions out of the SHL. Alongside Wes Anderson and Dylan Ward, I am Max Anderson, and along with our all-star technical crew, we will have all of the live game action for you here from Bensonville. St. Viator enters tonight's game coming off a thrilling OT victory in their state tournament game, coming back from a 2-0 deficit over OPRF in the final 4 minutes of regulation. Meanwhile, it was New Trier White that pulled off the massive upset over the 4-seeded York Dukes team in the round of 16. For more on how New Trier White will look to pull off another upset over St. Viator, we're going to send it down to ice level, where our very own Wes Anderson is standing by with New Trier head coach Chad Bidwell. Wes.
Coach, you guys were able to knock off the number 4 team in the York Dukes. What are you looking to carry over into this game against St. Viator?
I think we got to stay loose. You know, we got a young team here. Just try and play good, solid defensive zone like we did against York. Limit those, high percentage opportunities, and put a lot of pucks on net.
Coach, you guys are 8-2-1 since January 1st. What's really led to that success for you guys?
I think they've kind of bought into it. Like I said, it's a younger team, U16, so it'll take a while to get them used to the physicality of varsity, but now that they're kind of molded in a little bit and they kind of believe in themselves and we got our good goaltender locked in, just kind of leave it all out on the ice.
All right, sounds good. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Max, back up to you guys.
Thank you, Wes. And the last comment there from Chad Bidwell, probably the most important. Starting goaltender for this New Trier White team. There's a freshman that is turning some heads around the state in Wyatt Schmidt. He was a perfect 36 of 36 in that game against York, who's one of the best offensive teams in the state. Don't let yourself forget about that fact of it, Dylan. And he comes in tonight with a lot of pressure on him, looking to repeat a performance. Already 2 shutouts in these state playoffs.
Yeah, one in the play-in final game to get into the Sweet 16, and then, of course, you were just talking about the 36-save performance against the York Dukes. 18 games played overall for the freshman, 122 goals against average, and a whopping 943 save percentage, 4 shutouts on the regular season in the IHSHL North Central, which, by the way, in case you're curious, teams in that division, teams like BGHW and Sandberg is who they played in the game to get here, so they have a little bit of less of a strength of schedule than the St. Viator Lions, but don't count them out. They are one of the top teams in that league.
Now it'll be interesting to see in net who will be there for St. Viator. If you've been following the Lions all season long, Brian Beal entered as a 4-year starter on varsity all-conference, one of the best goaltenders in the state. He got hurt early in the year. I see him picking up the pucks in net, so I don't think he's starting tonight, but he is in uniform for the St. Viator Lions and practicing the last couple of weeks, so it will not be him, but it is certainly good to see him back on skates, overcoming a couple of injuries. So he won't be the starter, but good to see him back out on the ice for St. Viator. Dylan, you were here for that round of 16 overtime thriller, the first of which needed 2 goals in the final 4 minutes, did St. Viator, just to force overtime, just for the chance to get here, and a really gutty performance from the Lions.
Yeah, and that was against SHL opponent, Oak Park River Forest. And, yeah, OPRF, the Huskies, they were looking like they were going to make their way all the way to the Elite 8 after not qualifying for the SHL playoffs. But St. Viator Lions did come back and end up winning that game in overtime, and that was, the 3rd straight game of the Sweet 16 that went to overtime.
It was a really wild round of 16. Of course, Bennett and GBN played an instant classic as well. We saw Bennett earlier tonight in Game 1 of this quarterfinal. This is Game 2. We'll have 2 more here tomorrow night. Come right back to the SHL Network tomorrow night for Loyola and GBS, as well as Stevenson taking on St. Ignatius. I don't know if you heard the PA announcement in the back, but it will be Michael Massaro starting in net for St. Viator. They've really been a 2-headed monster all season in net, has St. Viator, between Massaro and Dominic Grimaldi. It's going to be Massaro getting the chance here tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, Massaro played in that first game 26 out of 28, and he had a 9.29 save percentage in that first game against OPRF. So he's going to get another chance here at a lesser seed, but maybe not a lesser team. New Trier White is a force to be reckoned with, and like you said, Max, officially New Trier's second varsity team down the spectrum, but it really doesn't work that way. This is a lot of young guns, and this New Trier White team found themselves seeded highest of the remaining 3 teams besides New Trier Green at number 1.
Dylan, we've talked a lot about Wyatt Schmidt thus far, but pacing New Trier offensively, their top line of Austin Friel, Aiden Nolan, and David Wolf, they'll really be looking to them to lead the offensive effort in front of their netminder.
Yeah, a couple of guys on that line, Nolan and Friel, have identical point lines, 13 goals, 10 assists, and 23 points in total for those 2 gentlemen, and then 5, 9, and 14 points total for David Wolf, number 90 in blue today. By the way, in case you didn't know this fun fact, you can tell which New Trier varsity team is playing, not by the color of their jerseys all the time, but by the color of their helmets. So the Trevs rock the white helmets here in the white game against Elite 8.
We had the green helmets earlier tonight, a 6-0 win. New Trier looking to get 2 teams in the Final Four. I'd have to go back and look after this. Can't imagine that's happened before, but we'll definitely have to research that. But first, New Trier White's got to take care of business against the St. Viator Lions team that gave Loyola Ramblers in the SHL playoffs all they can handle. Here's a first shot off the draw from Ashton Friel.
What a move.
Below the goal line, point blank chance for Friel. Couldn't put it on net. Here's a shot all the way through. But Friel couldn't put it back in on Massaro. Comes loose side of the net. Trying to pry it free was David Wolf. Instead comes back to Nolan. Nolan tried to wrap it around the boards, but it hit a line on its way. And breaking out with it comes Jake Kneeling. Schmidt whips that against his own bench. O'Neill's going to try to fire it deep. Knocked down there by Tyler Baker. Christian Randall with the puck. Has had a few opportunities this season on the green varsity team, on the top team for New Trier. Key piece for New Trier on the back end is 34 with the white helmet.
8 games total with green in the SHL campaign, maybe a couple more in those non-league games as well.
Here's Carson Hart as he's checked against the boards. Viator was looking around for a penalty. They're not going to get one. Shot on net just goes wide of Schmidt. Trying to get back to the point. Here's Hart. He's checked right as he gets rid of it. Good body check from Max to Groot. This puck goes too far for an icing. So an offensive zone draw to come for St. Viator. And Dylan, early in this game, just a minute 45 in, we've seen a couple of big hits. And these teams already drawn at each other. Last game was pretty cordial. Looks like this is heating up very early on.
Yeah, you saw Max DeGroot right there having a conversation with Carson Hart after the play. I think it was in regard to a couple of stick taps post-whistle, and DeGroot did not like that. Referee broke it up immediately, though.
Here's a shot from Mueller right into the glove.
Guys, I'm not sure what's in the water up there in Winnetka, but that's the second game in a row we've seen the New Trier team come out firing, forcing Massaro to make some early key saves.
Yeah, there was a couple chances there right at the goal mouth. There's another shot from Mueller. It's blocked in front. New Trier coming out in transition, but if you weren't with us earlier, New Trier Green beat Bennett 6-0. They scored a goal 21 seconds into the game, and then just 8 seconds later, they scored the second goal. They were up 2-0, before most people even sat in their seats. Here's a shot on net, deflection right into the chest of Schmidt. He keeps it out. 14:52 left to go in the first period.
Yeah, you know it's a quick second goal when Jimmy's replay starts with the face-off at center ice, and that's exactly what happened. Boy, was that a hot start for New Trier Green, and they set the tone for the rest of the game.
Certainly an impressive performance from the state's top team. Top seed here in the AHAI playoffs. Face off to the left of Schmidt. It's won by New Trier. Spun around the board. Schaefer tries to keep it in at the point. A huge hit as Wenzel put Aiden Nolan into the ice. Trying to ring it around the boards. Comes back to Wenzel. Loose to Taylor, but he can't get a shot on goal. Kneeling winds up, looking for a pass wide. Couldn't connect. Now behind the goal, digging it out is Taylor. He tried to go across ice, goes all the way to Kneeling. Kneeling tosses it below the goal line. And pops out for Wenzel. Unlike New Trier and Bennett, who both played that first game knowing they had at least one more hockey game in their respective league playoffs, for these two teams, this is it. One team's season's about to end here tonight. Of course, here in the Elite Eight. And one team will punch their ticket to the semifinals right back here at the Edge 1 week from tonight.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm down here at ice level, and the pace is absolutely crazy. Both teams coming out early, firing shots, getting a lot of pucks on net.
Yeah, they're firing shots, Wes, and they're also firing hits. It's going to be a chippy one all game long. I think last game was a little bit more skill-oriented so far here tonight. This looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a bruising matchup. Not
surprised for the St. Fighters, and they're known to be very physical, especially with their coach Farley, who back in his day was known to lay the body a lot.
Here's a point-blank chance, and they score! Hugging the left post was Schmidt, and somehow St. Viator was able to squeeze it past him.
Boy, somehow is right, Max. We're going to have to take another look at the replay. Gavin Wright leads the charge back to the bench, so I believe he's going to get credit. 96 White, he shoots the puck right there, and yeah, it goes off the left pad of Wyatt Schmidt. He has just allowed his first goal in 6+ periods of state playoffs, play-in tournament, and actual tournament, respectively, and Viator takes the first lead of the hockey game.
So 1-0, just about 4 minutes into the game. St. Viator leads. So New Trier's going to have to score a goal to at least tie tonight. One's not going to win it. There's a backhanded shot, can't get it all the way through. Here's a shot, gets all the way through. A follow-up, they score! The rebound comes to Sean Nutley, and just 30 seconds later, St. Viator makes it 2-0.
Don't think the replay is going to start with the face-off at center ice this time, but that was another quick insurance goal. You see Sean Nutley was below the hash marks, right in the blue paint, pulled it to his forehand and was able to fire that one into the back of the net before Wyatt Schmidt could get across, and that's just what the Lions needed.
And it was a seeing eyes shot from Sean Taylor, who got the result he was looking for. That puck never left the ice. He was hoping to get a rebound out of the pad of Schmidt. And that rebound came right to the stick of 21 in white, Sean Nutley, to make it 2-0. Now right again, side of the net. He was being hassled the entire way. Back the other way comes Declan Bornhoft. O'Neill gets it at the far side point, loses his stick. Eventually coming away with it is Kneeling. Hennigan's just going to chip it in on net. And Schmidt's going to take a whistle after giving up 2 goals on 2 consecutive shifts. Happy to squeeze one there. 11:59 left in the first.
Now we got our first look at a pretty decently sized student section here at the state tournament. That is a lot of St. Viator Lions faithful right behind the net that they have just scored a couple of goals on, and looks like they got the USA theme going.
Get a whistle right off the draw. Not exactly sure why. Wes, what do you have down there?
Not sure why that one was blown down, but Dylan, you make a great point. St. Viator faithful, making it hard for Schmidt behind his net, but right to my left is all New Trier Green is gathered to cheer on their other teammates here at New Trier White, so trying to have a little bit of battles with the student section, even if it is the other hockey team.
Here's Nolan as he enters the zone. Wolf's shot towards net gets deflected. And Nealing's going to carry this out of his own zone. Wolf chips it deep. He's going to give Nolan a chance on the forecheck. And easily cleared by Viator. No one in the neighborhood of that pass, so that'll be icing against the Lions, and an offensive zone draw to come for New Trier.
Just what New Trier needed. They had a little trouble getting into the attacking zone over the last minute, maybe 2 minutes of gameplay. So to have a face-off right here and start things out, as long as you win this draw, you get some possession and maybe start peppering Massaro a little bit.
If you were with us in game one, you are not seeing things. This is not New Trier playing again. This is New Trier White playing now. New Trier Green played earlier, winning 6-0. Two teams from the same school to make the Elite Eight. Quite an accomplishment for this New Trier program. Now the look to try to get two teams into the Final Four, but this white team has a little bit of work ahead of them. There's Wilson along the near half wall, spins it behind the net. Error behind there is trying to dig it out, instead coming away with it. Here's Sam Shenton. Shenton's pass able to clear. And Wilson all the way back to retrieve. O'Neill takes this through the neutral zone. O'Neill tries to drag past one defenseman, unable to. This pass misses everybody. It'll be icing. We'll go back into the New Trier zone. .34 left here in game two of our four-game quarterfinal from the Edge. Be right back here tomorrow night with a couple of more. Face off won by New Trier, spun around the boards. Schaefer's going to keep it in at the point. Now below the goal line is Nutley, puts it on net. Almost caught Schmidt by surprise. Another follow-up shot from Menerick. High of the cage. Schaefer keeps it in. And finally dug out by Wolf. Christian Randall takes it for New Trier. Again, New Trier able to chip it out, but ever since that fever start for the Trevians, that's offsides against New Trier. No call. But ever since that first minute of the game, it's been all St. Viator, not just on the score sheet. Also controlling the play. First time we've really even seen the puck down here on the St. Viator side in several minutes. And Eric sandwiched against the boards. Neary steps in front of this pass. OT goal scorer for St. Viator, trying to put his team ahead 3-0. This puck comes bouncing out to Charles Truckenbrod. Now a stretch pass. Here's Reed Mueller trying to catch New Trier in a change, but a good recovery from Mitchell Seifert. Pinching and keeping it in was Jack Kuffel. Stretch pass to Bornhoft. Not able to connect. Neary will just shuttle that deep into the zone, and he'll go for a change. Carson Hart tries to feed Hoffman, goes over his stick to Seifert. Stretch pass connecting this time was New Trier, but a big hit right at the blue line as Carlson tried to break free. Now Carson Hart throws his body around as well. A deflection from the slot from Seifert wasn't on net. Hoffman back the other way, but a turnover, winding up shooting. And it was a sprawling Hoffman that deflected that shot up into the glass area. Max DeGroot carries for New Trier. This puck comes chipped into the St. Viator bench, and we'll get an offensive zone draw for the Trevians.
New Trier starting to find their way a little bit more offensively. They just had a couple of nice-looking opportunities in their attacking zone. And it was a nice keep-in, too, by Bornhoft. And you said St. Viator just barely able to get enough on that shot to force it up into the glass. But still, everything's going right for New Trier White except for the score over the last minute or so.
Here's Harrer with the puck. Played out by O'Neill to the stick of Hennigan. Hennigan carries. He shoots wide of the cage. Bodies come together along the near half wall. Chipped in, and Schmidt has to use the blocker to make sure it doesn't go in. Another shot, point blank. Hennigan was trying to find a deflection, and some pushing and shoving after the play. Hennigan calmly just points to the scoreboard.
Don't celebrate too early, PJ.
Guys, that's a great save by Schmidt there, trying to freeze that puck, get a good change on his side. There was a lot of traffic in front, too. Took a little bit of contact right as he made that glove save.
Yeah, some traffic in front for sure. Hennigan was sure to be in the face of Schmidt. Sure, Viator went to school on that York game, and here's a chance for Nolan. Nolan's got a man coming up the slot, has his stick tied up. Great play by Jake Nealing, as Nolan wasn't able to complete his move. Nolan again, right at the blue line, tries to chip it forward. It's knocked down. Now comes cross ice. Trying to get it to Friel, but not able to complete that. Pass across ice, comes below the goal line. Schaefer trying to dig it out. Comes loose to Nolan. Here's a shot. High slot just over the crossbar from Charlie Frisk.
Max Massaro never saw that shot from Frisk coming in. Just missed that top corner.
Yeah, by a matter of inches. Wasn't much. Trier looking to cut that deficit in half. Schaefer nearly turns the puck over in front of his own goal. Able to get it out. Nutley feeds wide. Neary going to the front of the net, and that pass just a little bit errant. Reed Mueller able to keep it in for St. Viator. Big hit right at the blue line. Wright and Smith are getting into it. And just opting to drop the puck deep is John O'Toole. Mueller's pass to the neutral zone deflected. Finally Wright gathers. He's trying to play the puck in deep. It stopped right at the blue line by Christian Randall. Played wide to Seifert. But again, cleanly taken away by Viator. Now a turnover. Point blank chance off the post. Massaro was down and beat. Couldn't put it between the pipes as New Trier again. Sharp angle shot deflected in front. Trickles below the goal line. And away with it comes Reed Mueller with 5:30 left here in the first. He tries to go around a couple of defensemen. Eventually swept away. So after New Trier, Dylan really started the first minute and a half of the game controlling. Then it was Viator for the better part of the next, we'll call it 8 minutes. Here's a chance. Hoffman in the slot. Shot just wide. It's been New Trier here over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Pushing back.
Sorry, Max, especially that post shot. I mean, that is just as close as it comes. Seifert just couldn't get it by.
Bornhoff tries to get it across. Had his stick tied up. Massaro lost his stick, but played out into the neutral zone.
Only a matter of time, though, Max, before New Trier White gets one. I have a feeling that they might find themselves with at least one goal before this first period is up.
I don't know if you can catch it in your viewing window, but Dylan talked about it before the game. Pretty cool to see the entire New Trier Green team down on the glass by their netminder, cheering on their program mates. A lot of family involved in the New Trier program.
Dylan, you make a great point about New Trier being right on the cusp of getting that first goal. It seems ever since that second goal went in past Schmidt, they needed to catch their breath just a tad. And after those 2-3 minutes afterwards, Viator was controlling the play. New Trier has really turned it on, really forcing Massaro to be on his toes the last 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, he's had to make a couple of key saves and certainly gave his far post a kiss.
A little a la Marc-Andre Fleury tapping the post.
That's the idea. You got to have a spiritual relationship with those posts and crossbar if you're a goaltender. Here's a puck, comes right out in front and swept away by Fisk. On comes Nolan, trying to go around Schaefer. He skates wide, trying to go around Kneeling. He stops. Good stick deflection from O'Neill. He's going to force this side of the zone. Hennigan went to check Fisk, and he ran into a brick wall. 17 in blue. It's quite the big body there on the back end for New Trier. Now comes all the way down, and falling on is Massaro after we had several minutes of uninterrupted play there with 3:34 left in the first.
So close to that magic number. Triple threes on the scoreboard. Shout out to one of our icons in the Blackhawks broadcasting booth.
Of course, Eddie Olczyk.
If you know, you know.
Blackhawks, of course, good friends of the SHL network. We're able to partner with them for the high school rivalry series. 5 great games that we had featuring great high school matchups throughout the season. Expect that to be back next year with even more interesting and fun opportunities. This is going to be a power play opportunity for New Trier, trailing by 2 goals. They'll look to crawl a little bit closer.
Yep, Angelo Mazzaro is going to the box. Max, I didn't catch if it was a hook or a trip, but either way, okay, it was a hook. So he's going to have a seat. 3:18 to go in the first, and this is what I'm talking about. You need to get a goal at the end of the periods. They're huge momentum boosters, whether there's an intermission or not. And for New Trier White to be the first team on the power play in this game, what an opportunity. Their game winner against York in overtime was a PPG.
Below the goal line, taking the puck is Wolf. Wolf surveys. He'll drop top of the circle. Now up top to Baker. His shot knocked down in front. Backhanded shot. Deflected on its way to net. Kneeling, pressuring the puck, trying to force it out. And he does. Now comes the Wolf, but again erased quickly by the captain in white for St. Viator, Reed Mueller. Good stick check from Hart, stopping that rush for New Trier with 1:15 left on the man advantage. Now tripped through the middle of the ice. Hart clear tripping. We're not going to get a call into the glove of Massaro. And as they say, if you want to look up the definition of tripping, it was that play through the neutral zone. I don't know how we didn't get another penalty.
Boy, you got to call that at this point. You know, New Trier White is a little bit snake bit offensively, but they're on a power play right here. That would have made it 5-on-3, Max, and that would have been such a key moment of the game for White.
Max, you highlight how that's textbook tripping. Both, or I should say both, all 4 New Trier coaches on the bench put their hands up, hoping that was going to be a trip as well, to go on that deadly, what could be 5-on-3 power play.
Hoping, the wrong word, probably expected. That was about as textbook as they come. I think they probably were just playing along. I certainly was looking around the rink for the 2 referees, and nobody put their arm up. Here's Mason Redding. 40 seconds left on the man advantage. DeGroot opts to go rink wide. So William Savino. Ryder looking to stop the play right at the blue line. New Trier finally gets the puck in deep. Monerick surveys his option, opts to go up the middle of the ice. Gets it to Neary. 20 seconds left. Man advantage for New Trier. There's a check in the corner. That was called a penalty twice in the last game.
Viator bench wanted one too.
Didn't get it here. 5 seconds left on the man advantage. Sharp angle shot loose in the crease. Couldn't get a follow-up. Here's Fisk. Back to full strength. Active stick there from Massaro. And a cross check in the slot. No call. Shot just past the far post. Game to game. Never quite know how it's going to be called here in high school hockey. As you hear our PA, 1 minute remaining in this first period where St. Viator got 2 early goals in the first 4 minutes. Make it 2-0 here in the first period. Again, New Trier White on the ice, not New Trier Green, New Trier White making it to this Elite 8 over the York Dukes in a thrilling overtime victory, 1-0 victory just last week. Carson Hart takes a peek at the clock, surveys his options. Wants to give it up to Sean Wilson. Entering the zone, Mueller. He drew a crowd. Backhanded shot. Big check side of the net. It was Gavin Wright. Now below the goal line with 9 seconds. Trying to center the pass. Good stick from Christian Randall. Not to let that happen. Puck comes out into the neutral zone. And after one period, it's going to be St. Viator with a 2-0 lead, and really after a short period there where New Trier gave up those 2 goals, it's been a pretty even game.
Yeah, it sure has, and you know, I really did think that New Trier White was the better team in that last 5, maybe even 8 minutes of that period. They had all the momentum and got some chances, but nothing home.
So we're going to take a quick timeout, catch our breath, come back with second period action just a couple of moments right here on your home for the AHAI State playoffs, the SHL Network on YouTube Live. Welcome back to Game 2 of this 4-game quarterfinal. Game 2 this evening. We'll have 2 more tomorrow night right here from the Edge alongside Wes Anderson down on ice level. And Dylan Ward to my left. I'm Max Anderson as teams have switched ends of the ice, as has our Wes Anderson. He spent that first period on the New Trier bench and now flips over the St. Viator bench. Wes, when we get to a whistle stoppage, certainly want to get your take from the New Trier bench after the first period.
By the way, sorry, Max. By the way, shots on goal after that first, you may have missed it. We were on break, but they were St. Viator 8 and New Trier White 3.
Certainly didn't feel that lopsided, of course. A post doesn't count as a shot on goal, but Wes, you spent that first period down on the New Trier bench.
Max, they were happy with the way they started. Obviously weren't too happy that they gave up those 2, but pretty happy with the way they responded after that. And yeah, like you said, I thought those 3 shots were light. I thought it might have been more in the 5-6 range, but they've seemed to gotten their feet back and settled into this game a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the key word there. They've definitely settled into this game. Saw a couple of rocky moments there, but this New Trier White team, they can play. A lot of more younger players, mostly freshmen and sophomore. U16, as Chad Bidwell talked about before the game. So in a big moment here, probably the biggest moment of their young hockey lives. I'm sure many more to come over the next couple of years, but they're looking for an opportunity to make New Trier half of the Final Four. Backhanded shot right in on Schmidt, winding up his heart. He shoots! A big save, as I believe that hit the mask of Schmidt to keep it out.
Hit something. I definitely heard a thudding sound effect as that puck came into the net. I'm sure, Wes, you had a better idea.
Yeah, guys, a little bit of sloppy rebound from Schmidt coming off that play on the goal mount, but a little tip in front, and he actually hits the throat protector underneath his mask, which is that loud plastic-sounding bang that you might have heard from up there.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's exactly what it hit, Wes, but it hit it kind of in a weird way. It looked like it went off of his blocker. He looks like he was trying to redirect it into the corner, and I think he nailed it in real time. Not great rebound control, almost put the puck in on himself off his blocker. Fortunately, hits that throat guard, stays out. Here's Massaro off the draw. He tries a quick shot on net, deflected into the corner. Nutley tries to use his body to keep the puck in, eventually cleared by White as Will Manerick takes it for the Lions. Manerick, one of the bigger bodies on this Lions team. Knocked down in front, and that one took a piece out of Christian Randall. That went off a part of the body that doesn't have a pad, as feels like pucks often do. Find that little crease where there isn't much protection. Christian Randall had to limp back to the bench, but I think he'll be all right. A game like this, Dylan, you quickly forget some of those bruises after the play. Little scuffle. Carney smartly looked like the referee was getting ready to raise his arm.
Well, he did. There is a penalty against Carney on that play. It was a trailing referee that called it. It was not the one that was right there, but either way, the whistle sounded, and yeah, he just hit him right into the far boards.
And one of the themes for St. Viator in the SHL season, they led the league in penalties. They do at times tend to play a little bit outside the whistle in that SHL semifinal versus Loyola. That certainly started to bite them towards the end of the game as they let Loyola back in the game, taking some bad third period penalties. Certainly something to keep an eye on.
487 penalty minutes and 127 times shorthanded, both leaders in the SHL.
And that's something they've got to tighten up here, especially as we move on. Raiden Mueller backhanded, still loose. Shorthanded for St. Viator. We also saw that ability as they scored a shorthanded goal in that series as well. Similar to Bennett, St. Viator never really stops looking offensively, even though they're on the penalty kill. That's Gavin Wright doing a great job of tying the puck up behind the goal line for about 15 seconds. Now with speed comes New Trier into the zone. That's Nolan. He stops, surveys his options with 1:10 left here on the power play. Drops to Ashton Friel. Puck rolling right on the blue line. Kept just in. Drops, winds up. That shot well wide. Will Savino collects. He gets it back to Baker. Baker near half wall. Now shot in front, deflected by Massaro. Another shot towards net, and that one took a bite out of Ty Schaefer. Here's another shot, another block by Schaefer. Is he going to go for a third in a row? 44 in white, giving everything here to kill this power play. 25 seconds left shorthanded. Baker wants it at the top, not in his shooting space. Settles that puck, but his shot blocked by O'Neill this time. Back up top to Baker. He settles. Centering pass deflects behind the goal. Can't get a shot in on Massaro. I think in that exchange we had 5 or 6 block shots in on the Viator goal.
Another great penalty for New Trier. Just not able to capitalize, but still mostly possession. He's on your side, and that's all you can ask for in a power play. Lots of great passes, too.
Here comes New Trier entering the zone. That's Charlie Andrews. Trying to centering pass again, knocked down by Gavin Wright. Here's a chip up, trying to find Neary. Neary racing, trying to win the race through the legs of Schmidt. But he puts that goal glove behind him to make sure it doesn't get between his legs.
Boy, Neary really turned on the Jets. He's the one that scored the OT winner against OPRF. He caught up to that puck. I thought surely Schmidt was going to get there first, but he found it.
Dylan, going back to your point about that New Trier power play, they were able to set up pretty well. And like you commented too, a lot of great passes, but what they didn't expect was how relentless Viator was in terms of shot blocking. I think 4 or 5 shot blocks on that penalty kill really helped their goalie out.
Yeah, they certainly weren't letting shots through. Important part here in the state tournament, shot suppression. The less you give up, the less chance you have a weird bounce like we saw in that first game for Bennett for something to squeak by. 12:44 left here in the second period. 2-0 St. Viator. Face off cleanly, won to Fisk. Nutley pressuring him. Comes loose to Massaro. Side of the net. Trying to escort it up the boards, John O'Toole. Massaro tries to knock that puck out of midair to keep it in the offensive zone, but eventually cleared. Nutley forces a turnover. His shot on Schmidt. He'll steer it wide. Comes the stick of Truckenbrod. Truckenbrod's shot into the glove of Massaro with 11:56 left in the second.
Not much right there. After that New Trier offsides, face off at center ice. Maybe a minute and a half passed of just both teams sort of skating back and forth, but it's been a while since we've had a really high quality, high danger chance at a goal from either side. Waiting for that next one. Still just the 2 goals in the first period by the Lions.
Just about 30 seconds apart there in that first part of the first period. No scoring since. Breaking out with it is Neary, but his pass misses everybody. Linesman doing a nice job of getting out of the way of the puck, which our crew last game had a little bit of trouble. Several officials get hit with the puck. A couple linesmen, a couple of referees kind of always seem to be in problem areas. Here's Reed Mueller with a nice move around a defenseman. Drops it to Kneeling. Trier looking to break out. Puck rolls off the stick of Nolan. Coming right back is Neary.
Look out, Wes.
That took a crazy bounce there off the stanchions.
It's all good. I got Beal right in front of me to make any saves that I need. He's laughing at me right now, too. But, guys, we go back to those 2 goals that were scored by Viator in a span of 30 seconds. Outside of that, both teams have done a great job defensively. Sticks in passing lanes, getting in front of shots. We saw in that last effort from the Lions. Mueller was able to get open, and then right after that, New Trier defense collapsed and stick on puck, and there's nothing really to make of it.
To your point, Reed Mueller made a great play going around 2 defensemen, and just when you thought he might have won a battle and won some space, a third forward comes over and eliminates the space. That's kind of been the theme here ever since those 2 goals scored. Just not much space in the middle of the ice for either of these 2 teams. Doing a great job of forcing everything to the outside, and if you want to bring it into the middle of the ice like Reed Mueller did, they're going to take it away. Here's Wenzel, takes a check to spin it around to Taylor. He's upended. Kind of retaliates there by tripping, but we won't get a call either way. This puck will be cleared all the way down ice for icing. With 10:21 left in the second, we'll come right back down to the New Trier zone.
Guys, they're really letting them play out here. A few that are on the cusp of being penalties going both ways, and you can even feel it on the bench. Both teams feeling like more calls could be made in terms of penalties here the first and second period.
Yeah, certainly we called out the one really pretty blatant no tripping call through the neutral zone back in the first period. But that's how they're going to let them play. I hope we see that continue. Here's Seifert. Tries a drop pass. Instead, it's swallowed up by Kuffel. A shot from Baker looking for a deflection, but Seifert just stopped it. Didn't even really deflect it. That'll be offsides. Just a little bit too early into the zone was Hennigan. .55 left here in the second of game 2 of 4 of the quarterfinals. 2 more coming up tomorrow night right here on the SHL Network. We'll have Taylor Rammelt joining us tomorrow night, as well as Andrew Rubin doing the sideline work tomorrow night. That name sounds familiar to you. Andrew played several great varsity seasons for the Glenbrook North Spartans, and now into college and getting into the broadcast ranks.
Love to see it.
He was a heck of a player for GBN.
No kidding.
Over the last couple of seasons. Here's Nolan skating in. Of course, can't forget about Taylor Ramolt's time with New Trier Blue about 10 years ago. I'll always remind you that he led the team in penalty minutes every year. So we always crown the Taylor Ramolt Award here on the SHL Network.
Max, out of all the broadcasts we've done, I did not know he led the team in penalty minutes. I will definitely have to bring that up the next time I see him.
It's the Taylor Ramolt Award. That goes to Charlie Hoffman on St. Viator. Here's a shot. Fought off by Schmidt. Rattled off the back of the cage. Looked like it almost went in.
And Fisk on New Trier White. Taylor Ramolt Award. We should start awarding that as an official SHL end-of-year award. That's what I say.
Puck comes loose to the middle of the ice. Stepping up, trying to take advantage was Wilson. Able to keep it in. Here's a shot from Hart, steered aside by Schmidt. Another shot looking for a deflection. Hennigan got a little piece of it, but Schmidt in good position keeps it out. Now Andrews shuttles the puck out, but Harrer stops it right there. And dropping it in is Wilson. O'Neill heads in on the forecheck. Trying to play it out up the boards, but Wilson keeps it in.
The shots on goal were low after the first, 8-3. I'd like to know what they are here in this second.
They're probably even lower.
It's been forever since we've had a scoring chance for either side.
Doing a really good job of taking away the high danger areas. Not allowing much right in front of the goal. They're going to make him earn it. Especially St. Viator at this point, up 2 goals. As this puck goes too far, we'll have an icing. And head back into the New Trier zone.
Guys, we've seen this long change really affect New Trier White. They got stuck in their own zone there for about 2-3 minutes. Viator was able to make a change and really get that second wave of offense back on the ice. We can see now as New Trier comes in their face-off setup that even they're huffing and puffing. So something to take note of for the St. Viator coaching staff.
Good call, Wes. Here's a face-off draw win. Goes right to Gavin Wright. His shot deflects wide. Erie right at the blue line. Trying to play it on. Eventually forced out. Kuffel just rifles it back behind the goal line. Erie turns and shoots. Blocked down in front. And New Trier White clears. Massaro aggressive out of his net. You mentioned it, though. Wow. St. Viator's had most of the action down in the New Trier zone. They haven't had many shots on goal. Had possession. New Trier doing a nice job of not letting shots get through to Schmidt. He tries to go around one man. It's knocked down by Carlson. And now Kneeling looking. He'll go rink wide, but can't complete that pass. Comes all the way down to Massaro. He'll drop his glove on it and take a whistle.
It's another stretch of play without real good scoring opportunities. New Trier White going to have to get a little bit creative. St. Viator's doing a great job in their own zone. Max, you said it, eliminating those high danger scoring areas. They're not even let them get shots off and good looks.
6:26 left here in the second period. Nice crowd here for the evening game. A few hundred folks here in the stands. O'Neill rink wide as Hart enters the zone. Hennigan coming up the slot. That shot again not on goal. Kept in by Kneeling. Hands to O'Neill. O'Neill gets a deflection in front. Schmidt keeps it out. Another save from Schmidt. Kicks behind the goal. Here's Hennigan. Tries to stop. Gets it out in front. O'Neill's shot. And Wyatt Schmidt putting on a clinic in net for New Trier.
There's some action. St. Viator pretty close there to making it 3. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the second. If you're New Trier White, you want to get a goal before the second period's over. I said that about the first period, but now is when you really want it. With the intermission, you go back to your locker room, And being down 1 is a major, major difference than being down 2.
Not just that, most of the possession in this period really has favored St. Viator. Hasn't been much action down on Massaro. If they can find a way to steal one at the end of the period to go into that locker room 2-1, they would feel very good. I'm sure St. Viator would tell you 2-0 right now is certainly not enough. The possession they've had, they're searching for more. Here's a shot from Hennigan, kept out by Schmidt. This rink-wide pass misses the stick of Friel and goes back to Seifert. That pass to nobody in particular from Charlie Fisk, and that'll be icing.
Both teams making a full line switch here. Randall heading onto the ice. Again, we talked about his time with Neutra Green a little bit earlier this season where they called up some Neutra White players. And that came just after an OPRF victory over Neutra Green. They wanted to switch up the roster a little bit for a couple games.
And that was that 6-0 drubbing, if I remember correctly. And they all about replaced the entire team on that game. But
OPRF against Neutra Green?
Oh, no, excuse me. I'm thinking of a game against Loyola.
Yeah. I believe it was 3-2, that OPRF game.
Here comes New Trier into the offensive zone. This shot into the glove of Massaro with 4:52 left in the second.
Guys, that's a great save by Massaro there. Sometimes when you haven't seen him many pucks in a while, you can get lulled to sleep back there, get a little cold, but good on him. Make a good, confident save there. Snatch that down, ice it down, and get some more reinforcements for his team out there.
You get the feeling that New Trier kind of felt the same way. Had been a while since Massaro had a shot on him. They want to make sure, get a quick one on him. Here's Randall with the shot. It's blocked by Angelo Massaro. Massaro putting pressure. Drop pass. Nutley can't get to that before Randall disrupts that tape-to-tape opportunity. Breaking out with it is Ashton Friel. He goes rink-wide stretch pass, trying to go around one-man high hit against Nolan. And heading back to the power play will be New Trier.
Yeah, that was straight to the head. Responsible, I believe, that's Ty Schaefer, number 44 in white. And yes, sir, he's going to head to the box. 2 minutes, and they'll just give it an interference call. But I thought it was pretty close to illegal contact to the head.
Yeah,
what do you make of that, Wes?
To be honest, I was kind of expecting to see a 2 and a 10 for head contact. Fortunately for Schaefer, he's only going to be lost for 2 minutes.
Well, New Trier White 0 for 2 on the power play so far in the entire tournament as a whole. 1 for 5. They're the only team with a power play in
Here's
this
a
game.
shot, deflection, they score! No sooner than I said it, 7 seconds into the power play, New Trier closes in, it's 2-1.
Well, first of all, Max, as a fellow play-by-play man, just want to say sorry for interrupting your call there. I know how annoying it is, but talking about the goal, real quick into the power play. The shot almost from the point, maybe a little bit closer in from the half boards, comes in. I'm not sure if it gets a deflection from a New Trier player, but either way, it's the Trevs with their first goal, and there's that goal before the second period expires I was just talking about.
I'm pretty certain I saw a deflection. I believe it was by a New Trier man in front. I think it was Charlie Fisk, but we'll wait for the official ruling from the PA.
That's just what they needed, man. It's only a 1-goal game now, and it is anyone's contest. The rest of this game's going to play out really nicely.
So it was David Wolf that got the goal. Christian Randall, the lone assist. Well, 4 minutes to go here in the second. It's a 1-goal game.
In case you forgot.
Now looking for a 2-on-1. Backhanded shot from Seifert, wide of the net. Comes to Gavin Wright. Now Neary at the blue line. Carlson surveys and dumps. Massaro plays behind his net. Schaefer out of the box after that power play goal for New Trier. That puck looked like it was knocked down by a high stick. That will be the call. And that is not easy for Charlie Fisk to do.
Guys, going back to that goal, we talked about how on the first power play of the period from New Trier, they were able to set up pretty well, but Viator was able to get into shooting lanes. You see there, if Viator is not able to get into shooting lanes, what can happen. So definitely on the minds of the Viator coaching staff going forward of what to limit on that penalty kill.
Great memory there, Wes. We were talking about that, and to see the difference as that shot got through. Certainly deflected, coming right back. St. Viator scores! The point-blank wrist shot roofs it over the shoulder of Schmidt from Patrick Neary, and it's 3-1.
Excuse me, I thought I saw a number 0, Max. I was spotting you right there, but I had the mistake. It was Dylan Harrer with the goal. But yeah, there's another play right off the face-off. Just a loose puck was sitting there, and Harrer found it, put it off the post and in, and it's 3-1.
So after it felt like New Trier had maybe turned the tide, an incredible response from the St. Viator side to make it 3-1.
Back to a 2-goal lead.
Kept in at the point by Kneeling, and he kicked it into his own bench, so we'll have a neutral zone draw. Unassisted goal there as Hare took the draw, found that loose puck, put it in.
Dylan, you were talking in the game before this about how crucial it was to win a faceoff. We see there, Viator is able to win an offensive zone faceoff, and no assist means Hart did it all himself, and a great shot to beat Schmidt down to my right.
Really a strong effort. It was really tie up there on that draw. And then just the presence and certainly the strength to take that point-blank wrist shot and raise it over the shoulder of Schmidt. Puck still bouncing around, trying to play the puck forward as Wolf. Four bodies come together. Eventually Schaefer comes out with it, but he can't clear it. Randall keeps it in. Finally, Wenzel going to carry it out. He looks for a stretch pass, and we're going to get a penalty against New Trier here.
Believe it's against St. Viator.
Oh, boy, that is a really tough call, as it looked like the initial interference happened against Hoffman. You could see there, yeah, Hoffman, that's exactly what I saw, was pushed into. Oh, that's a really, really tough call for Hoffman.
Max, that's exactly what the St. Viator coaching staff is trying to explain to the officials. You see the head coach now talking to the trailing linesman down there. They thought the exact same thing as you saw. The initial interference was actually on New Trier, and unfortunately St. Viator gets the penalty there.
Yeah, and there's no challenging those penalties here in high school hockey, but if they were able to, I think they would certainly win. I think that's a really bad break for St. Viator.
Hoffman, the penalty guy, the guy with the penalty, I should say, the Taylor Ramelt Award winner, adds a couple more minutes.
Here's a D-to-D pass, deflected right in on Massaro. He keeps it out. Wes, I see some of the guys asking you what the replay show, and you can certainly report down on the bench. Tough break, but they're going to be on the penalty kill here.
Yeah, guys, we see there again that New Trier is able to set up pretty well. Massaro, great save off a high tip to keep this a 2-goal game for his Lions.
So 1:50 left, again winning cleanly off the draw is New Trier. Making a nice move around one man. Here's a shot just missing off the stick of Aiden Nolan. Kept in by Baker. Oh, the goal line is Wolf. Trying to get it to Friel. He'll drop it right back to below the goal line. Wolf stops, heads towards the front of the net, comes to Friel. Now up top to Baker, gets knocked down in front, backdoor. Massaro just gets to that post. It was free there for a while. High off the shoulder, Massaro to keep that out with 1:10 left here on the power play. And Trier has controlled, and a break for the St. Viator Lions as that puck hit the referee. Scrambling to try to clear it is Hart. Now Reed and Mueller joins the fight along the near boards for the Lions and eventually forced out into the neutral zone. That'll be offsides. New Trier just a little bit too early into the zone with 47 seconds remaining on the man advantage and 1:16 in the period.
It was a close offside. Some of the New Trier parents did not like the call too much as they show their frustration on the opposite side, the far side, just coming into your picture now. Fourth power play of the game for New Trier White. 1 for 3 coming into this one.
Ryder's going to win this draw and able to clear it all the way down ice. Manerick back in his own zone to collect the puck. And he clears. Neary trying to pester here on the forecheck, shorthanded. Manerick high as well, trying to slow down this New Trier breakout. 10 seconds left with a man advantage for New Trier. Entering the zone, Seifert tries to get it rink wide. Arnhoft, his shot goes up high. That's the end of the power play, and now trying to get a breakaway opportunity, and just ahead of the blue line was P.J. Hennigan. I thought he held that. Dylan, what did you see?
Well, it's hard to tell because right as Hoffman comes out of the box, Hennigan comes onto the ice to replace him. This will be a great look at it. So he comes off, he steps onto the ice. Oh, it's a little hard to tell.
Didn't have a good look there. Wes, you had a pretty good look. What'd you see?
Guys, I'm down right here at the blue line, and that's going to go as an offside. It looked pretty clean from my vantage point. You can see assistant coach Farley down here talking to the refs, trying to understand what the call might have been or what the refs might have saw. But from my vantage point, being down here at ice level, it looked pretty clean.
25.5 left, and St. Viator leads 3-1, but I feel like they've been on the short end of a couple of calls here over the last 5 minutes. Tied up. Eventually O'Neill's going to take it away. Again, Hennigan, he'll be onside this time. Drops to O'Neill with 15 to go. Centering pass, trying to bring it to his forehand was Harrer for his second goal of the game, but good poke shot there by Schmidt. Coming down on the end of the period. O'Neill gets it far half board, spins, fires on net, but that will do it for 2 periods of action here in our second quarterfinal between New Trier White and St. Viator. A 3-1 Viator lead, but New Trier White hanging in there with this 5-seeded St. Viator team.
Very, very close to making it 4-1 at the end, and that was a really special pass by Hennigan, who was being pressured and kind of just dropped it off in what ended up being the perfect place. But yeah, overall, a good first couple of periods by both teams, and I don't think you can confidently say that one team has the edge of winning the game over the other by anything but the scoreboard. This has been a relatively even game all throughout, and honestly, it's not often that the team that's trailing has been playing a little bit better, but by a small margin, I do think that it's New Trier White.
So we're going to take a timeout. Ice is going to get cleaned here. We'll come back with third period action in just a couple of minutes right here on your home for AHAI Playoff Hockey, YouTube Live, presented by the SHL Network. Welcome back live to third period action here from the Edge Ice Arena in Bensonville. Game 2 of the night, New Trier White versus the St. Viator Lions. It's St. Viator with a 3-1 lead after 2 periods. And for more on how they'll look to roll here into the third period and make their way to the semifinals, we'll send it down to ice level where Wes Anderson standing by with St. Viator head coach Tim Benz. Wes.
Thanks, Max. I'm down here with Coach Benz. Coach, you guys are 4-1 in your last 10 when leading after 2. What adjustments are you looking to make here in the third?
We're looking to do the little things right. You know, we need to get pucks deep. We can't go off sides. We need to hit the net every time. We need to forecheck relentlessly. We don't need to let up from what we're doing because we don't want to give them any room to breathe.
4 of your 7 games have gone into overtime. Talk about your confidence of your team in tight games like tonight.
Yeah, like I said, as long as we're doing little things right, everyone knows what they need to do. We all have roles and jobs to do. As long as we're on the same page, we'll be good to go.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Wes.
Max, back up to you.
So I think I heard some constructive frustration there from Tim Benz. A little bit frustrated by some of the miscues, simple things like staying on sides, right, in key moments. I think that's something from an execution standpoint he wants to see cleaned up here in the third period.
Yeah, and you know, New Trier White's been playing a great game, so no disrespect to them. But you know, we talked to Coach Benz all playoffs long, not just these state playoffs, but SHL playoffs. He is a win mentality coach. He knows that any group of guys he coaches has a chance to go all the way. So to only be up 2 goals against this IHSHL North Central team, probably not what he had in mind heading into this game, but still a lead's a lead, and you got 17 more minutes to prove you're worthy of the Final Four.
Yeah, I think he was looking to come out here and make a statement. So far, it's been New Trier White that's done a great job of frustrating the St. Viator team. We talked about it pretty extensively throughout the second period, getting in passing lanes, deflecting pucks, blocking shots. And if they're going to come back and put 2 New Trier teams in the Final Four, they're going to have to find at least 2 and a third at some point here in the third period. 17 minutes up on the clock. It'll be Dylan Harrer opposite David Wolf to get us started. Stalls out, but eventually the puck comes back into the St. Viator zone. Another thing to keep in mind about St. Viator, talked about this also in the second period, at times have the tendency to play a little bit outside of the whistle. A couple of penalties, and including a power play goal for New Trier that got them back in the game. Their key part for them is to stay out of the box here in the third period.
New Trier White's the only team that's had a power play in this game, and they've had 4 of them. St. Viator has not had that advantage yet to this point in the game.
That play there by Ty Schaefer is really with no pressure around him. He puts up in the net. Good offensive zone draw to New Trier. Just took a look down to Tim Benz. He just took a deep breath of frustration there. That's the kind of play I think he was referring to with Wes Anderson on the execution side.
Yeah, guys, the ice is still a little wet, so expect a little bit more of simple plays to get the puck out of the zone.
Good catch by you, Wes. It is still quite slick out there. You see a couple of puddles throughout the ice. I think you saw Schaefer skate maybe lose out from under him just a touch, forcing that puck to go high, but no harm done at this point. Carson Hart chips the puck up the far boards. Back to take it is Shea Creasa. And Hart's going to rifle this up off the boards all the way down ice for an icing with 15:51 left in the third period. An offensive zone draw to come for New Trier.
Going to be at the circle to Massaro's right. New Trier just will keep looking for something. They've had the better start to this third period, in my humble opinion.
Jack Kuffel below the goal line. He's trying to pry the puck free. Will Manerick there to help him out. Sean Nutley finally forces it out. Comes to Angelo Massaro. Massaro gets checked hard as he tried to lower his shoulder towards net by Sam Shenton. And Massaro is down on the ice.
You can see every set of eyes in that St. Viator student section not follow the puck. Instead, make sure that Angelo Mazzaro is all right after that hit. And the referee, nice on him to not waste too much time after the hit to blow the whistle. Make sure the young players all right.
Yeah, guys, it looked like as Massaro was falling the ice, his helmet popped up just a tad bit. You see he was able to pull it off pretty easy as he was coming back to the bench. Looks like he might have got his chin or maybe his neck on the ice on his way down.
And fresh, wet ice, that can't feel good, but Massaro will take a breather on the bench. I'm sure be back here in a shift. O'Neill drops this puck in deep. The aforementioned Shenton for New Trier tries to play it up the boards, gets it past the stick of Carney. Kuffels having a hustle to beat Bornhoff down the ice. Now a centering pass, backhanded shot, big save by Massaro, as there was some room in the slot.
Great save by Massaro to open up this third period. It's a little late coming over from his right to left, but able to locate that puck, trap it down, and give no rebound.
And going to look at the replay. That shot gets a little bit higher. It might have beat Massaro. Face off to the left of Massaro will be Wolf and Gavin Wright at the near face-off dot. Won by Wright cleanly. Schaefer's going to rifle that on the boards. And that rides the rail all the way down ice for an icing.
Couple quick whistles. We were talking about it in the last game. Pace of play, this third period. Not off to as fast as a start as the rest of the game has. Already a bunch of face-offs.
A little bit of a clunky start here to the third period. And Trier trailing 3-1. Their top green team already winning earlier tonight. Here's a shot, good right pad save off the shot of Gavin Wright by Wyatt Schmidt. His first shot he's seen here in the third period. Nolan goes around one man, tries to center that puck, goes off a skate. Neary quickly in transition, got it to Wright, but he was at the end of a long shift. He'll go for a change. Hoffman collects near half boards, drops below the goal, trying to center the pass. Was Taylor, no one there for St. Viator. And New Trier sends the puck down ice. For some reason, Massaro played that puck. Would have been pretty clear icing. Instead, we'll play on.
Max, the coaching staff's down on Viator, was telling him to come out and play that, try and get a quick up for a potential breakaway.
Thank you, Wes. That's a great point. Here's a point-blank shot, able to keep it out. That's why we've got Wes Anderson down on ice level. The St. Viator coaching staff smarter than I, trying to take advantage of New Trier in a change. Taylor off the boards, over the stick of Wenzel. Some pretty quick shifts here on the St. Viator side to start this third period. They want to stay fresh. Don't want any long shifts for their side. This puck will go far enough this time for icing. 13:24 left in the third. Offensive zone draw to come for the Lions.
And all the face-offs we've had in this third period, it feels like not many of them have been down in the attacking zone for St. Viator. So they're going to get a look here, maybe draw something up off the face-off and make it a 3-goal deficit.
Face-off tied up. Goes to the corner, eventually below the goal. Manerick comes down for the Lions to try to sustain Nutley's check. Centering pass, couldn't get it in the passing lane for Manerick. Away with it comes Nolan. He's sandwiched by a couple of Lions as he enters the offensive zone. Now Nolan near corner, centering pass, point blank shot, big save. David Wolf was wide open just outside the crease. Massaro to make a big save. Here's another shot deflected by Schaefer. Friel tries to center it. Here's the best look of the third period thus far for New Trier White. Here's a centering move from Nolan. He's got his hands pulled on. That shot goes over the crossbar. Now another turnover as New Trier's kept the puck here in the offensive zone for more than a minute. Finally able to be cleared by Viator, but it's going to be icing, and will come right back into their zone. New Trier having their big push right now.
Yeah, the big push, and they've been pushing since the second period. Man, that Wolf chance right in front. He had a one-on-one look with Mazzaro, and he had to make a quick decision, and it was stopped by the pad.
Guys, that's the second save this period for Mazzaro that he's moved left to his right. Really good laterally this period, tracking pucks as he's sliding.
There's a shot. That misses the glove, but well wide of the net for Mazzaro. Here's another shot. Gives up a quick rebound and falls on it alertly. Takes a whistle with 12:06 to go.
Boy, they really are peppering Mazzaro. The one goal he allowed was on that tip play on the power play right off the face-off, but other than that, he has been so solid here tonight, heading into this third and final period with 18 stops.
Puck drops, won by New Trier. Now Neary tries to break out, gets it to Reed Mueller. Haven't called his name that much tonight. Normally a name we call often when we call a St. Viator game. Tied for the team lead in points with Tommy O'Neill. He's passed too far, so an icing, and we'll head back down to our left.
Cuffle almost got a piece of that one, which would have nullified the icing. Maybe our cameras caught it. Close to getting a touch on it out of midair, but instead now Viator gets a chance in the attacking zone. Harrer with a goal tonight will take the face-off.
O'Neill takes the puck along the near half wall. Tries to play it around. It gets to Hennigan, centering pass. Nobody there for St. Viator. Kearney tried to step up to make a play, but carried out into the neutral zone. Comes to O'Neill. Now Hennigan takes a look, goes rink wide to Harrer. Harrer's checked as he got rid of the puck by Declan Bornhoft. Bornhoft chips it in. It'll be played by Kearney. Centering pass from Wenzel. Able to be taken away by the Lions. Now Hennigan at center ice. His way to O'Neill. Good stick check from Mitchell Seifert. Stops that rush for St. Viator. That pass misses everybody. Another icing, and not sure how many whistles so far here in the third. It's been a bunch. Very slow moving start to this period.
Almost 11 full minutes left to play. Certainly doesn't feel like that.
Offensive zone draw to come for Hoffman. Right, just to the right of Wyatt Schmidt, who's given up 3 goals here and given up a goal over his last 2 starts here in the state playoffs, including that upset win over York in the round of 16, where he was a perfect 36 of 36. And that upset win, this is going to be a penalty against Carson Hart. It's going to be a trip. So New Trier with the opportunity they've been seeking here. They're going to have a power play with 10:33 to go in the third.
1 for 4 on the power play in this game. I said it earlier, maybe just 5 minutes ago. St. Viator's the only team that's taken a penalty in this game so far. New Trier White free of that, and there is penalty number 5 for the Lions in this entire state tournament so far. 2 for 7 on the power play. What an opportunity here for White.
So 2 minutes with a man up for New Trier, but off the opening draw gets cleared by St. Viator. And Schmidt has to play it behind his own net. St. Viator pressuring here on the short-handed opportunity. Comes to Kneeling, and he'll fire it down ice.
Scored 3 shorthanded goals in SHL play.
Nolan loses at the blue line. Would have been offsides if he could get through that wall, but he wasn't able to, and it's fired down ice.
Great penalty kill for the Lions. This is exactly what they've been needing to solve this New Trier power play.
Got the one rabbit up front, pressuring the puck. One man right in square in the middle of the neutral zone, and then the 2 defensemen sitting right at the blue line. Try to force the puck one way or the other. Again, off a stick of a Trevian. And cleared down ice into the glove of Schmidt. He'll take a whistle. 51 remaining on the man advantage for New Trier.
Dylan, you just spoke on it, how good of a penalty kill this is for the Lions. They've been a lot more aggressive after they gave up that power play goal against, in that second period. A lot more active, a lot more sticks and lanes.
Yeah, certainly a key to that too is winning draws. We saw New Trier in those first couple of power plays kept winning faceoffs. That's really the key. You're seeing Viator do a better job in the dot, getting that possession, able to clear the puck. Hand pass going to go against New Trier. They can't believe it.
Yeah, the guy that is most concerned with that call is William Savino. He was the one who was guilty of the call. Looked like he kind of just fell down there on the ice, and the puck was pushed ahead or propelled ahead, rather, by his glove. It wasn't an intended hand pass, but still a good call by the official.
30 seconds to go on this power play for New Trier. Now, with a head of steam coming up ice is Shea Kreisa. Kreisa drops it in below the goal. Taylor fires it off the boards, but Frisk able to keep it in. Neary able to force it out. Error, now Neary shorthanded, just misses his stick. No icing as they're shorthanded at the moment. Neary gets sandwiched behind the goal. 2 seconds left on the power play, and that back to full strength are the Lions. We get a whistle off a hand pass, and we'll come out in the neutral zone. 8:26 to go in the third. 3-1 from the Edge in Bensonville. Of course, just our second game of this quarterfinal. Tomorrow, our game one will be a GBS versus Loyola Scholastic Hockey League clash. Those two teams had some great games in the regular season. Meanwhile, our nightcap will be the #1 team out of the CCHL. That's the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. They'll be taking on, out of the SHL, the Stevenson Patriots.
The only non-SHL team that made it to the first round of this tournament without needing to participate in any kind of play-in round.
They're so good all season long, led by their captain and net, Sebastian Wigfield, maybe the best goaltender in the state. Of course, some great pieces on the front and back end. Talk about Joey Junta, who's the CCHL Defensive Player of the Year. It's been a dream season for the Wolfpack, who have their eyes also on a first Kennedy Cup in the program's history over in the Catholic League. They won the regular season CCHL. We talked about it with their coaching staff. That's 1 of 3. Of course, 2 of 3 being the Kennedy Cup. They're 1 win away from that. And of course, the final and the one that means the most in the state championship. Here's a shot. And Massaro gloves that with 7:18 to go.
Now Massaro thought the shot was coming high. See on that replay, that's a great view of it. Going low very quickly. Grab that puck and I'll let it get by him. This is the point in the game where you don't want to let a sneaky one get by you after playing so well in net all game.
Massaro's been alert. One goal that's gotten by him was off a pretty wicked deflection in front of him. Nothing he could do on that one. Other than that, he's been sparkling in net. Here comes Angelo Massaro. Massaro back up top to Kneeling. Kneeling is going to shoot intentionally wide. He wanted the point-blank chance for Monerick, but Schmidt keeps it out. That puck will be put in deep by Nutley. He'll head for a change. That stretch pass, no one's able to catch up to right at the blue line. It's checked as he enters the zone by Ty Schaefer. And Monerick, 200 feet the other way, coming back to support and clear. 2-on-1 coming for St. Viator. Neary coming up the slot. Mueller drives, and it goes wide. So hard so that came all the way out of the zone. Emerson Hart plays the puck off the boards, hits the linesman. And New Trier able to chip out. Saw him, Reed Mueller wind up that big slap shot on the 2-on-1. He had Patrick Neary coming up the slot, up to take a high hard one.
Penalty coming up here, Max.
Yeah, New Trier's going to head to the penalty kill for the first time in the game. O'Neill's the sixth skater on the ice for St. Viator. New Trier still can't touch the puck. 6 skaters for St. Viator. Hart now below the goal line. Finds Neary. Neary coming off the half wall. Backdoor Wilson just past his stick. Oh, and then another big hit. Comes to O'Neill. His shot stuff attempt by Wright. Trying to throw it off the back of the goaltender. Viator still got the puck. Going on maybe close to a minute here with an extra attacker. Comes to Mueller. Looks for a deflection in front. Still loose. And they score! New Trier can't believe there was no whistle. They never had possession. The ref let the play go. And it's 4-1 St. Viator.
And it was the right call. Tommy O'Neill will get credit for the goal. He found the loose one in the blue paint. And they're going to argue all they want, but you said it perfectly, Max. The puck was never frozen by Schmidt in net. And that is just persistence by Viator, looking for a better pass instead of a shot to not let them touch the puck on the delayed penalty, and it paid off.
Guys, the two refs in the middle of the ice are, I think, discussing that. Not sure what they could do to overturn it, but yeah, there was a lot of contact on that, as you just explained, Dylan.
I don't think they're going to take it back.
Conversation now ongoing between 2 referees and the 2 linesmen. I haven't seen anything to indicate otherwise, so I believe we have a good goal. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And you can see that puck was A, never frozen, and B, never possessed by a Trevian. That's the key word. It's not necessarily if you touch the puck, you have to have possession of it. So right here, that loose puck, it does go off the pad of Schmidt, but there is no New Trier skater.
Jimmy, if we could get that last look slowed down one more time, I think that's by far our best look. All right, now, here we go. We're going to get another look at it right here. I mean, you could argue, I think it was Ashton Friel that maybe had possession of the puck right at the top of the crease, but certainly, like we talk about and joke about, no challenges in high school hockey. So it's 4-1. St. Viator leads with 5 minutes to go, and they have taken a commanding control of this game. Now comes back to Baker. It'll be the unassisted goal by O'Neill. After one of the longer extra attacker on the ice situations that we've seen all season. Probably better part of a minute, Viator was able to hold on to the puck, and it wasn't just on the outskirts. They had several chances towards net, just kept recovering the puck. Backhanded shot kept out by Schmidt off the stick of Wenzel. That comes all the way down ice. That'll be an icing.
And don't forget, New Trier Green waits, the winner of this game, which looking like it's going to be St. Viator right now, but you can never say that quite yet.
If that ends up being the case, that'll be 2 teams from the Scholastic Hockey League through. We'll have a guaranteed 3rd team through from the Scholastic Hockey League. It'll be either GBS or Loyola tomorrow. And then the last hope outside the Scholastic League is St. Ignatius. A game against Stevenson. Dylan, of the 4 games, I think I was most excited for that game, and we're going to get a penalty here again on New Trier.
Uh-oh.
And that's not going to go far enough, but that was about as close to that situation as I think I've ever seen.
You know, Max, I don't know how much you were following state playoffs, before this year and before 2 years ago, but there was actually a goal like that in the state championship at the United Center. It was Providence Catholic scoring their only goal of the game after New Trier put it into their own net on a delayed penalty.
I remember that game. I don't remember that play specifically. That's a great memory, Dylan. So already trailing 4-1. And Trier White heads back to the power play, or penalty kill, I should say.
Of course, Patrick Kane has done that before.
Here's Neary, gets it back up top to Mueller. Just has to chip it down below. O'Neill checked off the puck. Comes back to the point in Mueller. He drops cross ice. Eric winds up, shoots wide of the net. Neary trying to follow up. Comes to Wright. Wright thought he had a man back at the point in Mueller. Mueller was more towards the middle of the ice, so 89 and White has to head back into his zone, collect the puck. Here comes the captain for the Lions. He goes through some traffic, skates wide, gonna let a shot go just wide of the net. Manerick collects it at the point. He's able to keep it in. And cleared by New Trier, 1:05 left. Short-handed for New Trier. They need 3 goals in the last 3 minutes. Aaron Massaro come together in the corner. Eventually dug out, gets it back to the point and kneeling. Now a shot from Hart, kept out. Massaro collects. Now kneeling with a nice move around, one-man shoots. Blockered away by Schmidt. And again battling behind the goal line.
St. Viator fans getting loud. They sense it.
And we're going to get another penalty against New Trier as the helmet of Massaro. And this game's chippiness is really picking up here at the end of the third period. Tim Benz wants a word with the referee. The referee's telling him, hold on.
Max, it's a great call. The message down here on the St. Viator bench is they're starting to fill it up 3 with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the third period is to be smart, be disciplined, don't take bad penalties, and just try and stay out of the box.
And they're going to be on a 5-on-3 here for 23 seconds, elbowing the call against Ashton Friel. Coming down to the last few minutes here of day 1 of the Elite 8. Back here tomorrow with a 6:30 puck drop. You can find the links for both games tomorrow on the SHL Network page. If you're watching, feel free to hit that subscribe button. That way, when we create the links for the semifinal games, you'll get those alerts.
Max, you mentioned you were most excited for Stevenson St. Ignatius tomorrow. I would say I'm most excited for GBS and Loyola Gold.
Great game as well. I'm always interested to see. I've seen GBS Loyola. I'm always interested to see this time of year when the SHL and the CCHL match up. We saw it earlier, number 1 versus number 9, and New Trier really romped Bennett. But St. Ignatius, I think the class of the Catholic League. Stevenson plays a very different style of hockey from that Ignatius team.
Oh, yeah.
They play a physical knocking game. They have a lot of skill. But they are a physical team. They want to get after you. 5-on-3 over here for St. Viator. Meanwhile, Ignatius looks to play a little bit more open game, a little bit more of a pace game. It'll be a clash of styles. SHL versus CCHL, and I'm excited for GBS Loyola for sure. And here's a shot and scores! Connor Taylor winds up, takes a slap shot, and on the power play beats Wyatt Schmidt.
And if the fourth goal was the icing on top of the cake, that is the cherry. Taylor makes it a 4-goal difference with 1.5 minutes to play. What a shot. Just winds up and blasts one.
A little bit of a screen in front of Schmidt there, as you see in this picture here. It was Hunter Carlson. He might have given a little bit of a screen in front of Schmidt, but that will just about do it, as Dylan pointed. 1:27 to go. St. Viator on their way to the semifinals. where they will take on the #1 team in the state, New Trier Green.
What a game that's going to be, with a state championship berth on the line.
A couple of teams very familiar with each other. Met each other 3 times in the regular season of the SHL. Now Viator looking for more. Wilson winds up, opts to drop it below, 1 minute to go. Minerick in the slot, can't get a shot off. So for New Trier White, a heck of an upset last week against York to get to this game. But they ran into a St. Viator Lions team that, outside of a power play goal that they yielded, played an excellent defensive game. Michael Massaro was outstanding in net. Just the one deflection that got by him. Now under 30 to go. There's a shot right into the bread basket of Schmidt. And again, some pushing and shoving out through the play, and you see Wenzel pulling Hoffman. Nothing left to play here. Up 5-1 with 11 seconds to go.
One more puck drop should just about do it.
Thank you for tuning in. If you have been with us all evening in our first game of New Trier Green versus Bennett, all the way through this game, St. Viator versus New Trier White. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the SHL Network. We're very excited and proud to be hosting the AHAI State Tournament all the way through to the state championship. And of course, on March 13th, you can hear some of these voices, but lots to do before then, and another ticket to the semifinals punch by St. Viator. And Dylan Wilson, what else is there to say other than New Trier was in the game? They had their moments where they could have possibly even tied the game, but ultimately it was Michael Massaro in net. Some opportune goals from the Lions, and they're into the semifinals.
Yeah, and you know, if you're watching this at home in favor of New Trier White, this is absolutely not a season to look back and think disappointment. To make it all the way here to the Elite Eight, to take down York, to have your freshman goaltender Schmidt 2 shutouts in a row in these playoffs, and to have all the success you did in your respective league in the regular season. Just a really, really great season from NTW, and so much to be proud of, and making it all the way to the Elite Eight, no matter who you are, even if you're a New Trier Green, even if you're a Loyola Gold, is always an honor. But it's Viator that goes to the Final Four.
So stay tuned here. Wes Anderson down on ice level. Look to corral Tim Benz, get some post-game thoughts from him. Getting a nice lobbying effort from the sideline for who the player interview will be. But first, we're going to talk to Tim Benz here in just a moment. New Trier White, several of these names keep an eye out for. Several freshmen and sophomore. Guys you might expect to see on the New Trier Green squad next year. Bright future ahead for many of these players. As Dylan said, nothing to hang their heads about. Made a great run here in the tournament. Beat the number 4 seeded York Dukes to get here. But ultimately, St. Viator came out on top here tonight.
Hang tight, Wes.
We'll get Tim Benz here in just a second.
My feet are getting a little cold down here, so Coach needs to hurry. Here, we'll talk to Nutley first.
All right, let's send it down to Wes. He's with Sean Nutley.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Nutley. The game-winning goal. Take us through what you saw on that last one.
I just saw puck got chipped from Angelo Massaro. Saw an opening back right. Just put it there.
You guys are 1 win away from the state finals. Tell me what it means to this senior core on your team.
It means a lot. Doing it for them, all of us, younger classmen, doing it for them. We don't want the season to end. We're going to come out ready for green, I'll tell you that.
All right, we'll see you next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, guys, sorry we missed Tim Benz, but back up to you.
No worries at all, and excited Sean Nutley, and I think his last words said it all. We're going to be ready for green. They are excited and ready to take on the top team of the state. You'll see that right here on the SHL Network a week from tonight. That will do it for us tonight from the Edge Ice Arena in Bensenville. Thank you so much for tuning in. Come back tomorrow. We'll have 2 more semifinal games live from Bensenville tomorrow. I want to thank our great crew all night long. Vivian Hernandez doing an outstanding job with the camera work. And of course, Jimmy the Wiz Olson, our technical producer, bringing you all the graphics, replays, sights, and sounds. Wes Anderson down on ice level, bringing you that unique angle here on the broadcast. For Dylan Ward to my left, I am Max Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back tomorrow night for more hockey. And until then, we bid you good evening, and thank you for tuning in.